Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Welcome to the Kill Pete Strategy. I am Pete. I am a top player in Risk Global Domination. A daily release on YouTube. I do weekday streams on Twitch. And if you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to the channels. Come along the ride with me. This is Classic Fixed. Holy World Domination. Holy, folks. Sometimes the game says, here you are. Please enjoy. Please enjoy that spawn position. All right, I accept. I accept the Africa. Pretty good. Please enjoy the worst position ever. I don't know, man. I like it. I'll take an Africa. I'll take a hard Africa spawn. Bet you still get contested by who? Red may go Australia. They probably will. You think Purple puts everything in? Purple won't have anything to put in. Aries Fox. They're getting smoked. Ladies and gentlemen, this is World Domination on Classic. Auto 60 with a neutral bot. Alliances are on. Fog Blizzards portals are off, and I'm in the third seat, playing as Magenta. And we have about the most gifted African spawn you can imagine. We're definitely going to take it. Hey, even Sea Monster. What's good today, man? No, the dice are all right. GM tournament champion has entered the chat. Did Sea Monster win GM? Let's go. Congrats, buddy. You think Black's doing it? That's fucking awesome, bro. Way to go. I'm envious of that title. I tried so hard. Snark says, hey, Pete, I met a good-looking girl, but after kissing, she told me she has a dick. What do I do? Well done, sir. That seems like a super appropriate question to ask me. I wonder if anyone's going to harangue Pink. Don't harangue me. I want to be unharangued. Black has a rough spawn. I think if you're Black, you put it in North America. Yes, I am Magenti. It took you away. Like, your spawn sucks. I'm like, I'm pretty sure my spawn's amazing. Exactly. Yeah, this is a reasonable play for Black. Get some value out of the stack. I respect it. Get a turn to Africa? Fuck yeah. Oh my goodness, folks. I didn't even realize. Set up the Schmopus cam. I got a chilling Schmopus boy. All right, that is a strong Africa spawn, man. No Schmopus cam? This is why we can't have nice things. I don't think my Schmopus cam is working, folks. Drat. It's the free bird. It took a minute. We have Schmopus activation. This is how we're going to win the game, okay? We're going to win the game via the power of Reginald, sleeping Reginald Schmopus Boy Jage on my pantaloons. Not going to cut off any key strategic information. I'm just going to have him hanging out in the South Atlantic Ocean with me, enjoying a snooze. That's right. Good boy, Reggie. Everyone loves the Schmopus, man. All right. I'm back. You get any extra score for eliminating opponents? Nah. Sometimes people feel like they should too, because you really need something to progress the game. Okay, Boomer says, I love how the stream lagged out during the middle of Freebird and I come back and it's still going. Right. Am I dropping frames? Why did Purple vacate Europe? Purple going for the SA Noob Slam? Oh, I was lagging out when I was messing with the camera. Got it. All right. Have you heard about the riots happening in California over deporting illegal immigrants? Not much. But yeah, like I heard that, that there's some sort of martial law declaration to deal with it, which is pretty fucking insane. Do any Californians want to chime in? Like, are people safe? What's going on? It's upsetting. It sounds upsetting. People set cars ablaze and one dude was allegedly tied up and lit on fire. That's fucking horrible. That's horrible, man. You think Purple's being a homie? Why does he send me a alliance request then? That is very upsetting. Yeah, man. Oh, I see. When I move the mic, Opus Cam is attached to the mic. We're going to have to stay on the mic. How you doing, the White Wolf? Arkin says, in the BLM riots, the gun shop that was a mile away from my house got broken into live on the news. That's ridiculous. Nothing different in Central Cali. It's just LA. Okay. Do I start Mickey Mousing into Europe? Like, this kind of spawn really lets you swing your meat around here, you know? Okay, blue offered. Let's accept. Accept from blue. Red is slow playing the Aussie takeover. Yeah, I mean, by the time he gets it, isn't going to be worth anything. Xenomorph says, this is probably a very political take, but I still think people use the guise of protest to excuse themselves to reckless behavior. That doesn't sound political at all. That sounds like what people do. Right? The self-righteousness of activism. All right, I'm not going to guard out, but I could upgrade. Not with a dude's trade. How do you record your games without going live in OBS? There's a record button in OBS. You don't have this option? Do you have Streamlabs or do you have OBS Studio? Yeah, so I have OBS Studio as well. There's just a record button. Yeah, Purple moves in because nobody else wants it. I mean, that's reasonable. Why is Purple not going for Europe? He is now. You called it, El Sensei. Purple seems scared of me. Well, I'm not going to just randomly kill him. But I might like the +5 is the thing. I just don't want to waste my dude's trade. Everyone else in this game is being ridiculously passive, so I don't think I have to do anything yet, but I'd much rather be in Europe long term than Africa. So the greed is kind of calling my name now. JC says it's California. Riots like El Nino occur every few years. This is a historically accurate statement. Where's green setting to go? Green's chilling in China. He's waiting to slam out on red. All right. So, I should have moved into Europe, but I didn't. Now I need a relationship with purple. That'll work fine. That's really my consent to purple taking Europe, right? This says I won't threaten you. Right? And then I can guard Africa on 2 positions. Hey, in 4 hour? 4? 4? Game's doing all right, thank you. And red still doesn't take, because red doesn't want to deal with green. That's why. Red's too scared to take Australia because they don't want to deal with green. We still end up with a dude's trade. All right, well, the luck had to come back around. So we're probably flat overall in the first 5 turns for troops. You see, green has more troops than us. Does black not have cards? Oh, no. Risky Phil, too. Hey, Phil. Pete, I heard on today's video you do not like country music, and I mostly agree. However, Top into chat and disagree. Do you know Oliver Anthony, Richmond, North of Richmond? I've heard of it. I don't know that I've listened to the song. Is it a popular one, eh? Let's listen to it. Very popular one. Should have seen this Africa spawn, Phil. It was ridiculous. The game handed me Africa on a silver platter. The live view of people searching for non-political messages in chat. I don't give a shit about the fucking immigration issue in the United States. This doesn't affect me. Like, you guys sort it out. Sounds like it's a fucking hot button issue, though. Okay, Blue's going to clear South America here. A lot of people are only exposed to a bad, cheesy country. All right. We're going to pop this one down, and we're going to see how it makes us feel. This is Richmond, north of Richmond. That guy has a massive red beard. Oh, Blue guards against me. That's not good. Guarding against me means I have to guard against him, which is lose-lose. Blue's like trust but verify? That is the incorrect way to go about that. That is the worst way to go about that, actually. Yeah, it's a nice song. Yeah. This is like banjo folk music, I'd call it. Why stack more on Blue when he matched your 14? Because Blue doesn't have an exterior. So I'm forcing Blue. I'm forcing the action, right? Blue has to go this way because he doesn't have troops exterior. If he started putting troops here, then I can depressurize, but I have to wait. So I'm not willing to let Blue even consider getting cards on me on that line. That's why I hard guarded. Right? You're good to make note of it because you don't actually see me hard guard a ton, especially when I'm in an alliance with someone. But I think what Blue needed to do, if I don't think he's good, right? If Blue took South America and then forwarded everything here, then he would be able to insist on cards, and I would be able to immediately trust him and not have to worry about stacking North Africa. So leaving any amount of troops on Brazil tells me that he's considering guarding it from me, which means he doesn't trust me, which means I have to guard against him. That's kind of my rationale. But now what happens, right? Because Blue then is forced into Black's territory. Also, Purple not taking the bonus, Red not taking the bonus. This game is just like... Okay, Black says, I want a bonus. Don't roll 3v2s, man. Don't do that. That's not a good roll. That's better. That was a great track. Reminds me of like a country version of Dallas Green. The Reggie Canvas missed. Move the mic again. Thank you. Or listen to Jelly Roll. No, I do not listen to him, man. Let's listen to some City in Color. Let's see what blue does here then. Sets and breaks. Blue's fixing to be stuck in a corner. Yeah, it looks like. Blue doesn't put any troops exterior. All right, well, now we got a Cold War. Here's to see where it goes here. He said, I wish politicians would look out for miners and not just miners on an island somewhere. When I first heard it, I rewound like, wait. Yeah. I mean, I think the sad truth is that if you guys want to draw any sort of political, even adjacent statement out of me, the sad truth is that we are being lied to directly by our institutions on a daily basis. And until we truly, well and truly stop accepting that, we will get nothing but more of the same. And if you've noticed that the quality of your life has been declining, the quality of your living standard, I should say, has been declining, and you believe that you get that in that regard you are getting what you deserve because someone voted for it, that is exactly the lie that I'm talking about, right? Pits us against each other. It pits us against ourselves, right? When we are poorly led, the argument that is made is, well, someone chose it. And this is the lie. No one chose it. No one would choose it. This is why the only relevant political issue worth discussing is electoral reform. Because until we fix the way we are governed, we will get nothing but more of the same. And I don't actually feel like that is all that controversial for me to say. So when I talk about politics, that is the thing that I care to talk about. Something that might actually fix the problem if we agreed and chose to do something about it. Four says, I bring that there should be no state borders. A lot of people don't like. Borders are borders are kind of like the hallmark of what's at the root of the liberal versus conservative split. I'm so glad blue's breaking black here. Phil says, question about this point. At what age did you come to this? Or how did this idea in you progress? Because, for instance, I was more of an idealist, and now I agree with you. Yeah, I try to be realistic, man. And one thing that doing this work has taught me is there's a lot of diversity of opinions, thoughts, attitudes. Matching blue here, I think, is smart because he's already showed. Now he showed that he wants to be on my team. I think talking with tens of thousands of people now, random people, average people, has given me a lot more breadth on what the average person believes and the patterns between the ways in which humans, all of us, have consistent structural flaws in our thinking, right? We have cognitive biases and logical fallacies built into us as vestiges of the ape brain. I'm not really answering Phil's question all that well. It's a good one. I think it's a progression, right? It didn't just spawn on me fully formed. It was a series of disappointments in my life, right? I never really had much faith in the electoral process, but I think one of the things that really broke my heart about the system was the story of me not losing my business per se, but me deciding to no longer be an employer in the province of Ontario, right? Because one would assume that the province, which gets a bunch of its revenue from taxes on employment, would be directly incentivized to reward job creators specifically, right? And when I realized there was not only no incentive to create jobs, there was a disincentive to do so. That broke my heart in a significant way, right? Realizing that at every stage of growth in my business, as an example, there was another predator. There was another parasite here to make sure that my margin stayed small and I could never, save enough to. We can barely save enough to buy homes here, right? People 10, 15, 20 years younger than me are literally priced out of the housing market. Can they vote for somebody to fix that for them? No. Job creators are exploiters. I don't choose to be a capitalist. I don't design the system. I happen to exist in the system, right? But the conclusion that I'd much rather not employ people is one that I very much share with you. I wouldn't choose to be the capitalist, and I'm happy to not have a power differential over other people. Kill black and upgrade. What's black on? 5? I don't hate that. Is blue smart enough to trade? Well, I mean, there would be no better moment. Okay, we lose red. Yeah, I'm just going to tell him to hit me. You're going to have Africa. I leave no troops in Africa, and I tell blue to hit it. Yeah, that goes. You love the answer? Thanks, man. Yeah, look, I don't pretend to have answers, Phil. I'm trying to offer an honest perspective, right? And I think that conversation around politics is so fraught. Yeah, this makes sense, but now it leaves blue with no option. And I think it's fraud on purpose, right? I think we are pit into a false dichotomy where we are, encouraged to fight amongst ourselves. Well, those in power rob us blind, steal the silverware, eat our dinner, steal the silverware, and abscond with the furniture. That's that's the level of fucking abuse we're dealing with at this point. Oh no! Oh god! Don't do that. Greed, no. Wait, do people still believe in democracy? Why would they argue about who voted for who if they didn't, Aries? You get what you deserve because you voted for it. It's like the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. This is correct. The people who control the markets control the media and the messaging. Okay, blue doesn't upgrade. Okay. At least I got to. I can't help Blue if he's not willing to help himself. Pete, you believe in the Matrix? What do you mean believe? Like we think we're in the Matrix? Not really. I think the argument that we are in a simulation is very interesting. Well, Charo says capitalism is the best model we've created, considering human nature. Until we create something better, we should keep tuning it for the best. Yeah. Okay. I mean, first part of the sentence, fully agree. Capitalism is the best thing we've come up with so far. Second part of the sentence, considering human nature, I don't agree in the sense that the implication that there is such a thing as human nature is kind of a fraught question. There's a lot about our history that tells us that, if anything, it is in our nature to be flexible. And if you look at history long enough, you can see all the different sorts of societies that have arisen that kind of argue my point there. And your point, your final part of the sentence, until we create something better, we should keep tuning it for the best, is actually, it ends up being a way to shut down the way you tune it for the best, which is the conversation I'm actually trying to have, right? I would agree that what we have is better than nothing and the best thing that has come along so far. Both points I fully agree. However, the next logical step in that question is, how do you make it better? Not, it's good enough, so, right? I think having an open question as far as, what a, say, non-competitive, Blue skips here, what a non-competitive economy might look like. I mean, I think it's a very interesting question, and it's something that we might need, in addition to wanting, we might actually need to answer that question. All right, let's put the stack out then. And need in the sense that we might, not destroy ourselves utterly, but we might put ourselves in a very doomed way if we don't kind of attempt to solve this as a technical problem. All right, OK Boomer says, I'm dying to know your views on this. Do you align more with Mencius, who believed we were born good and use ritual to preserve that goodness in a corrupt world, or with Zunzi, who argued we were born flawed and need ritual to become good at all? This could be referring to religious or non-religious rituals. I don't think we are born good, and I don't think we are born flawed. So if it is a question of between the two, I would say it's more of a both and. I think we are good enough. That's how I would distinguish the difference. I don't think human beings are, quote, born good in the sense that we are pure. We are not. We're animals. We're apes, right? And we hold the same moral weight externally as other animals do externally. We moralize and we justify things internally with ourselves. We are the source of our own morality. That seems obvious, right? The world is not corrupt, though. That's something that I can say. Green just sues into me randomly now. No, he wants to force the action from Blue. That's very funny. Blue should just kill him then. Blue could outright kill Green on 5 cards. Just kill him. Make him die. So that's kind of how I answer your question, is that I think that we enter the world that is amorally, right? We enter the world that is good enough. We are people. We are worthy of love, right? You deserve all of the good things in your life for no other reason than the fact that you exist. And then as far as ritual, I don't think we need ritual to become good. I think we need ritual to find meaning. Right? Find where we fit. This world, right? Where our role is, where our perspective is valued. That sort of thing. Harry says, Cosmic Cowboy and I have been chatting over the past few weeks about the future of governance in the West. I think fascism-ish is inevitable, like actual Italian fascism. Yep. And Cowboy disagrees. At least he did until the LA riots. And his best objection was that online reality does not reflect IRL reality. To an extent, it doesn't. A bad kill. Whatever, we advanced the game state. Do either of these guys want to work with me? The second part of the comment is, online people are a slice of age and race that doesn't extrapolate to the whole. Of course. I think that the far right tendencies run a lot deeper than people think. Oh, it's nothing to do with far right or nothing. I don't even think that term ends up meaning anything. Right, that term has been co-opted. Purple's just going to break Australia here. I don't know that I'm in a good position, right? If I get attacked, I stop being in a good position. Okay. This is fine. Breaking America gets him killed. Yeah. Breaking America there gets you killed, I think. Right? You doing, Fancy Orb? Blue's just going to skip and then take the win. Yeah. That's fine. You can have it, buddy. This guy was about to feed it to you anyway, so I have to preemptively hit him. Happy for you, Blue. Right? Purple was about to break North America, which was going to feed me to Blue on a silver platter. So if Blue isn't actually here, then I win. If Blue is here, then I get second. But either way, I think I have to hit Purple for sure. What do you know about Scientology? A lot. I read Dianetics. I know a lot about Scientology. Ah, that sucks. Dude's trying again. I think this was very stupid, what he did. I think hitting me... As long as he doesn't set on through, I'm still okay. All right, 4 has a question. Why do you agree capitalism is the best economy created? Because capitalism has provided... has lifted the world. Global sort of capitalism has lifted more people out of abject poverty than any other system in history. America's continuous coups of communist/socialist nations prevent them from implementing anything that prevents rampant exploitation. Yes. The fact that the American government monkeys with the governments of many world nations in its, role of maintaining, the hegemony of empire is not an indictment of capitalism. It is an indictment of empire. Look at China's economic system lifting billions out of poverty in 20 years. China's economic success has to do with capitalist policies, not socialist ones. This is so much more beneficial for humans versus free market capitalism, exploiting the poorest nations. I think your level of analysis here requires some updating. I don't think China is a communist country anymore. It's a communist country in name only. Purple has decided that they absolutely positively want to throw the game, and we will abide them that opportunity. And blue has to do nothing to win, right? They just have to sit here and not play. The important thing to bear in mind, right, if you're talking to anyone who would claim to be a communist, is that they actually have to take responsibility for the blood on their hands at some point. And the amount of any sort of sense of understanding history would get you there pretty quick. Okay, so I don't know that blue is bluffing, but it's a very opportune time for blue to just magically not exist, eh? This is fucking hilarious. Okay. Well, my dice are hot. But so you say it does implement socialist policies over free market capitalism. Yeah, but every Western nation does. So again, right, the reality of the situation is not true free market capitalism. No country on earth has true free market capitalism today, right? So obviously, some hybridization where markets are allowed to exist has been the best thing so far. But fundamentally, I don't think that competition ends up in any sort of place that we want to be long term, right? Because the nth degree of capitalism now is, 1% of people owning all of the resources. It's not the strictly capitalist economy that you confuse it with, unless I'm misunderstanding. Every single nation on earth has some combination of socialism and markets. Yes? So this all or nothing thinking doesn't really make any sense. So blue quitting there also doesn't make any sense. He just wanted to feed me this game? Or is he going to fucking pop back in? Surprise, surprise. What a weird time for blue to quit. We just take this down? I would even assume that there's some kind of market in North Korea. All right. Look at those dice. This guy just randomly come back or what? Well, he's gone. It looks like we got fed this game, folks. It was nice of blue. Yeah, it was nice of blue to decide that they actually didn't want to play this game. I don't know. Do you think anyone was good here? This game seemed like I just got fed a bunch of kills in sequence. That is indeed a GG. Yeah, I was all right. I did all right. Bunch of beginners. Hey, Purple's an intermediate. You gave yourself third, Purple. You actually gave yourself third whether or not blue quit, right? I was willing to give blue the win there. So be careful of that. That's right. You'll get got like that if you're not careful. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, for all of you on the path to world domination, good games and good luck.